Hey, what's going on, guys? Ron Moore here, back with another episode. Got to keep it quiet. It's still early. It's around 4:10. I'm waking up, heading to do my morning workout. Part of my morning routine is going to the gym around 4:30 because I always have a busy day. Probably hear the kettle in the background going. Recently on Facebook, I made a little bit of a status update that I'm trying to cut back on caffeine, drinking too many coffees, and had some great feedback. So I wanted to share with you a video with some of the stuff that I took with that great feedback that I got. So a little someone from Brantford named Crystal that works at head office at Steep Tea had mentioned that she works for a tea company in Canada, and their tea products are really cool. So she said try some of it, and she gave me a sample, and this is what I'm going to showcase today. So here it is, showcasing the Caramel Comfort. What it is a blended mate and a rooibos tea. The rooibos is actually a South African tea, and it's naturally caffeine free. So it has a little roasted mate, rooibos, caramel bits, roasted chicory, chicory root, marigold flower, natural flavor, and this is a 50-gram serving. So I'm going to give it a shot, and also you'll notice here this little brute. This thing is really cool. If you thought sliced bread was a good invention, you're going to love this thing. It's actually amazing how it gets activated. So it's going to be brewing there for a few more minutes, and the reason I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine is just recently I've been noticing throughout my day working with my clients. Naturally, I'm a very hyper, high intensity kind of person, especially training my clients because I get excited. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. But I've been noticing that my heart rate has been just sometimes feeling to the point where my heart is kind of reaching out of my chest. So even when I'm trying to lay down, and I'm usually drinking coffee throughout the day, I kind of developed a bad habit because I'm not sure how it happened, but I just find myself at coffee shops because I do a little bit of blogging, and every time I'm there I feel obligated to buy something. So then I'm going for the brewed coffee, and it turns out, depending on the size, the brewed coffee has around 175 micrograms or even 200 micrograms of caffeine, where usually, according to Health Canada, you should stick to around 400 micrograms a day. I think that's the maximum tolerance, or the upper limit, they say. So what I've been doing now is trying to stick to maybe one or two and more espressos, and I used to think it used to be called espressos, so I was kind of, now I feel embarrassed because every time I order them I used to say espresso and they give me this strange look. And I had a meeting with someone who's Italian, and they said, Ron, what are you saying? It's not espresso. Back on that, and so switching the teas, and so this is it. This is a cool little brute over here, and this is unbelievable. And I love the steep tea. So we're going to do the official taste test now. And this is pretty good. And I think this blend works well because it's not too strong to the point. It's a nice blend. It has a little bit of rooibos as well. And I don't even have to add any sugar to it or milk. So I think this is going to be a nice transition for me. So that's about it, guys. Just here to show you that there's always something to work on a lean, fit, healthy program. You have to look at yourself and kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself, in a sense. Caffeine sometimes is going to be an issue, and you need to address it. And the best way to be upfront and honest. So I wrote down how much coffees I had a day, and I looked at the caffeine intake, and it was quite high. No issue there. Moving forward, sticking to tea. Still going to have a coffee a day, but more of an Americano, so it's an espresso shot, and having maybe one or two of those, and really keeping my caffeine intake to around 150 to 200. So that's about it, guys. As always, make a decision and a commitment to getting in the best shape of your life. Make it happen.